Yes, indeed. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? It's your boy, the Prophet B. Kush, and we're here again. Hello, somebody, with another exciting episode, as they say. um, red flags. Come on, somebody. Red flags. Are they just the things that you're seeing, or are they also things that you're doing or allowing in your life? We just want to bring sound advice to cure some of the ailments that are not that serious if we could learn certain things. If you get a chance to check it my other shows, you'll see some good points for you to look at. All right, we're not here to tell nobody what to do. We just want to make sure that everyone sees the difference in re- taking time to remain calm, make decisions, use consciousness, in your decision making. Quite a few things. Quite a few things. Thanks again for tuning in. It's your boy, it's show number 13. Hello, somebody. Show number 13. I'm grateful. I take pride in doing it. All right. I do. I'm happy to give some words of advice because so many of us are just so closed off in our sectors that, excuse me, we're not paying attention to the world outside to know that we're not the only ones, or there is a different way to look at things, process things, receive things. Come on, somebody. And so that's what I try to think that I'm doing. All right. Uh, only you know if I'm actually helping or not. You could drop that comment in the box or in the comment section, even if you don't want to say nothing or, be all into it. You could just drop a comment if you think that these shows are helpful. I would like that. I would appreciate that. But no, a lot of people have told me that they enjoyed it and they took points from it. So that's okay. All right. All right. So tonight, hello, somebody. We're talking about accountability. Ooh. You know why we're talking about accountability tonight? Because so many people walk around, and I see it and I hear it all the time, and different mannerisms of things. So we're just not going to say that accountability is something that you have to put towards relationship or marriage just like that. It's in everyday life, literally. It's in how we do, how we live, how we speak, what we were supposed to do, what we didn't do, what we should do. It covers a really, really big field, accountability. But I want to go into accountability from this aspect of relationship and marital, the effects, you know. Um, and I appreciate it. Again, yeah, I'm in the car again. This week, Tuesday and Thursday was just something else. But I'm gonna go into accountability, right? And so accountability is the glue of a healthy relationship or marriage. You have to know that. Being accountable allows us to really be together, rely on each other, etc., etc. So if you're not seeing these things in your relationship, in your marriage, that's, of course, that's a red flag because that's the glue that you guys need to be together. You both have to be accountable on what it is you do, say, how you act, so many things. But know that, check that off as a situation that you understand it's the glue, it's the very thing that keeps it together, right? When you own your actions, admit your mistakes, you create growth. Your words and actions line up, right? And you protect the love at that point. You protect the love and the respect. When your things line up, when your words line up, when your actions line up, you protect the love and the respect of the relationship or the marriage. You protect it. Uh wow. She can feel so warm in your arms because she knows that she can count on you. Come on, somebody. He can feel great about coming home every night after work or going out and getting a second and third job because he can count on you. What y'all say to each other is what it is. When y'all say it is what it is. And that comes into the communication part of it, because when you say things and things change, if you don't jump on the communication with your other loved one, it creates a distance between you that, yeah, it can mount up over time. So you have to keep that in mind if you can. And then you have to remember that accountability is not one-sided. Both partners have to practice accountability, because relationships and marriage is a partnership. It's not policing. Come on, let's really look at that. You know, you do practice the accountability, because so much comes under the conversation of being accountable, that to get it right with someone new or within a marriage where y'all are growing in family, growing in business, growing in love, you have to get into the what, where's, and whys and hows of the other person to be on point. In that, people can become argumentative because someone can feel like you're checking them too much on different things, right? And that's a given. We all know that. We've seen that happen. We've done it. Someone else has done it to us. But when you enter that conversation with the level of partnership in your mind, right? Partnership in your actions, partnership in your ways of being and handling things, it then takes the policing aspect away. Literally and figuratively, it takes it away. But we don't do it, we don't exercise it enough so that we can be on common ground. And that's where it goes bad. If we exercise and practice the accountability and the steps for all the growth and all the great things and the glue to be where it's at, you'll see eventually it's kind of like working out. The muscles will form. Now, you know, you can tear a muscle if you're not working out the right way. So accountability is somewhat the same. If you practice it to where both of you can learn from it, grow from it, and no one to get hurt. But if you don't do it that way and it gets a little sloppy or someone's short, yeah, someone's going to tear a muscle and someone's going to be hurt. And it's going to feel like policing. And those are things that are red flags, because that'll drive him or her away, the wife or husband away, because they're feeling overburdened. They're feeling like, yo, what's this going on? We wasn't doing this 3 weeks ago. So a lot of times you don't know, you just don't know. And we come into a situation and later on we realize we should have been doing this. Late is never bad. Yeah, it's late. Okay, we're doing it now, but it has to be done. And the more you don't do it, the worse it gets. Come on, somebody. And so, you know, always remember that, with what we're talking about, that admitting, and getting into growth isn't about weakness. Because sometimes you'll hear the male, yo, I ain't no sucker, yo. I ain't no punk. I ain't even doing all that. You crazy? Nah, because then she gonna want that all the time. And then you might hear the girl with the guys, and they'll say stuff like, "Yeah, yeah, he good for the moment, but in a minute I'm gonna do." And everybody's not coming to the table properly. Everybody's not coming to the table appropriately to allow what they said they want to do, which got both of you in bed and in love. They don't want to carry out the actions to make that happen. somewhere along the line, someone thought that you can just have a relationship or you can have a marriage and you don't have to work. And I don't know who told you that, because the pretty girl turns ugly, the handsome guy turns goofy looking. And, what was a warm hug and a beautiful thing can turn into Lord knows whatever. And these things happen. Yes, you get those who do make it further and learn how to appreciate better, and that's a wonderful thing. My thoughts is that take some of these jewels I'm giving you and use them so that you can get to the point where it gets better and you're working on it to be better. You're intentional. Come on, somebody, say it with me at home. You're intentional. You're being intentional about the love. You're not walking into it and, oh, it's going to work. No, you have to be intentional. No less than all the intentional moves you made to get the guy in bed, no more than the intentional moves he made to get the girl in bed. If you're talking love, if you're talking relationship, if you're talking marriage, you have to be intentional about how it's going to work. So many times we start out one way. Come on, somebody. We start out one way and we not allow, but things happen, right? In the relationship that are add-ons and sometimes subtractions. Come on, somebody. It's added on this, you added on that, you added on this. And it could be by way of work situations, it could be by way of extra family people situations, it can be by way of health situations. Yeah, you got a lot of things that can be added ons. And then you have to think of the subtractions too. Maybe the person you're in a marriage, the person is not sexually into it. Women go through this thing where they don't like to have sex after a certain time, after so many years or so much time with one particular person. And people are like, oh, they're getting funny. No, they're just going through things of growth within themselves. And then sometimes men, they'll get into a situation where, they're not performing like they used to no more. And instead of talking each other through it, the guy starts taking stuff and, all types of crazy stuff that it don't need to be, when it's really probably just you two coming together and speaking and creating the lust for each other again, reigniting the lust for love and the need for companionship with the other one again, because time can break it apart. Time, situations, add ons, subtractions. Oh, he lost his job. He's not making as much as he used to. Oh, she doesn't work at all no more because of this, that, and the third. All types of, these are, I mean, y'all know, I'm not holding you back. Y'all know that these are things that definitely happen in the home or in the relationship or in the marriage. Come on, somebody. And when you talk about the trust, it's the foundation to any relationship. When we talked about the glue that holds it together, trust is the foundation. So when you got the foundation together, right, and you're beginning to work in trust, and y'all trust each other, and this is built on me knowing that I can trust you. That's kind of like the accountability in itself. And then later on, what's going to hold the stuff together that you're putting on top, that you're stacking on top of the trust, the glue is the accountability again, so it's weaved all the way through the relationship, the marriage is weaved through with accountability, to have trust as a foundation, to have the accountability as the glue. That's all that's important. All that's, it come, I guarantee you, if you get to the core of any disagreement, any misconception, any misheard thing within a relationship or marriage, at some point it was based off of there not being trust. It was based off of there someone not being accountable for what they said they were going to do but didn't do, or was doing and stopped doing. These are real serious things, and everybody wants to play it low. If that part of it is not on their side, they're gonna play it low like it don't really matter because it's on that person's side. So, I don't know what you're talking about. No, you can't do that. Oh, this is just what I do. No, you can't do that either. This is a work, man. Somebody better get their Timberlands, get your Timberlands, and get your construction hats because you need it. It's work. But I always said when I used to work really hard, that it didn't bother me to work really hard because the things that I was working for made me feel good. It made me feel good to do the things that I had to do to raise mine, take care of mine. It made me feel good. So if who you're with doesn't make you feel good to do and to be accountable, then that's the conversation. Whether it's with the other person or with yourself or with somebody you trust, it needs to be had because, again, I say these things in the awareness that everyone truly begins to understand that time is not on your side. And what we're going to have is a lot of evil, manipulative people walking around because no one's satisfied where they're at because they're overshooting, over dreaming, over expecting, and mm, maybe you need to work on where you at and work on you a little bit more. And so many of these things that you really do consider red flags are not really red flags. There's situations that allow you to say, you know what? Okay, we start to working on that now. That shouldn't be a problem later. Come on, somebody. I always tell people an ounce of prevention beats a pound of cure. Think about it. An ounce, small thing. A pound is a bigger thing. And if you got an ounce of prevention, you can beat the necessity of needing or looking for a pound of cure. Come on, somebody. Be preventive in your actions. Be preventive in your thoughts. Be preventive. Like I said, be intentional with your love. Be intentional with your accountability. Be intentional with your growth. Be intentional. Come on, somebody. Be intentional. And so, those are pieces, I think people should, take a look at. And then, when you open it up more, right, that in a point of growth, you can go from it's not always about right or wrong, but how we can get stronger from here. I think that's what I was saying a minute ago as well. You can literally graduate from who's right, who's wrong, and bam, put on your robe, put on your hat, get your flowers, and go, well, how do we grow from here? Because if you do something wrong at the job or something goes wrong at the job, you just don't leave the job. If you got a car, the car gets flat, you just don't leave the car to the side of the road. Come on, somebody. So many things we can relate this to. And I'm not saying stick with stuff that don't make sense, right? Because if it makes sense, it can make dollars and you can live. But what I am saying is on the red flags that we're seeing in relationships, because that's a step before marriage, and that's a step getting into love. If at the early stages we can begin to put ourselves together to reason with everything in the matter of, okay, let's be intentional about what we're doing, how we're doing it, because we are both going this way and we want to go this way together. I think people are so scared. People are so chicken. Come on, can I say it? People are so in these punk modes, just not into staying sucker free at all, that they believe it's okay to just wish wash down the road with stuff with people and not be accountable, not be intentional, not be ready to be on point about the next move, about being together, about growth in that. So yeah, this is for people who've made that decision together that they're going to be with somebody in a relationship, who's made the vows and commitment to marriage. Come on, somebody. These are the things and ways that you can look at a situation and either add this in to your spice, or you can check it off and go, yeah, we got that. Come on, somebody. I got a marital checkup, MC checkup, marital checkup on YouTube. Check it out. It's got points that are really, really good. But I think people need to get to that part of it, if that makes sense, right? Um, and then to think, most often when you see people in situations and relationships or marriages and it's not going too good, but it's actually going awful, here comes a bitterness. People are bitter. People are mad. People are ooh, angry. They always tell you ain't nothing like a woman scorned, but ain't nothing like a man angry at you because you get to hear in the comments, I ain't even gonna piss on you if your heart is on fire. And all these harsh things, right? These are things that people say. It's reality because no one took it upon themselves to guard themselves with the right things intentionally to make it better. They just kind of went and walked and didn't realize till after the fact that love was on the table. Because see, when love gets on the table, whether you're in a relationship or in marriage, when love gets on the table, if we're not clear to the other person that there's love coming from us, right? This is love. The other person may take it as well, we was just doing what we was doing. And that's just that. And you can't even be mad because you didn't have a real conversation. You didn't say, okay, um, I'm seeing you got feelings like this, or I'm seeing you got feelings like that. And so when you get to the relationship status of it all, and y'all are in this for a while, and you're into the marriage part of it, and these things are not prevalent, they're not present, people people are going to be bitter. People are going to be bitter, angry for days. They're going to be, oh man, they're going to be angry for days. And always tell people, save the friendship. Because some people really do have great friendships. And instead of coming out of it the right way or dealing with it appropriately, they allow themselves to go off into this space where they're not doing that anymore. And people become bitter. And you speak to the guy, and he just got this nasty undertone and overtone about women. And you like, whoa, bro, I hear you. And you speak to the young lady, and she just, she's with the woman haters. She with the men haters club. She hate all the men. You know what I mean? And all the men ain't nothing, and all the men got issues, and all. And so I believe in 2025 with all the information and resources and evidence that we have of how things work and how things look, we shouldn't be in a space where we're not taking advantage of that. At a point in life for us as a people, there was times when all you had was the people on the farm. Come on, somebody. Coming out of slavery, that's all we had was a little unit that we had. And then later on, we had the little neighborhoods that we had, and no one really moved out of the neighborhood or went out of the neighborhood. So you were all neighborhood people. And then from that, we got into a space of moving around, and then we got into cliques. So whatever your clique didn't know, you didn't know either. Come on, somebody, I'm telling the truth. And then we went from that into where we are now, where we are just at home or in our phones and we're not conversating with nobody. And so you're not getting no feedback, you're not getting no other mindsets about different things. And in today's situation with society, whims and norms, there's a lot of information to be got instantly. There's a lot of, ideologies to look at so that you can judge your situation excuse me, better than what they could years ago. You're in a better situation in 2025 to get information or see scenarios or hear about different stuff to help you better judge it, better look at it, better receive it, better process it, because the more knowledge you have, the better off you are. Come on, somebody. And so when I bring to you the fact that accountability is the word tonight, I hope that you realize that it's everything. It's the glue, the trust that's in the accountability that allows that the trust grows from the accountability being very good between you guys. And all these things have this foundation. If you if you guys can be intentional about your love, about your accountability, about what you're going through, how you're going through it, oh man, sky's the limit. You know, so many great things can happen, and you can turn a lot of those red flags into better situations because you are paying attention. Ounce of prevention beats a pound of cure. You can't tell me that we all want to walk around and go through relationships and marriages and they just be awful. Like we get into them to wait for them to be awful. We get into them to wait for a breakup. I always tell people who does that? Who goes into a relationship just to be angry? Who goes into a marriage just to get a divorce? Who does that? Like you, that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. That is the stupid. That's like getting money just to give it away. Who wants to work for money just to give it away? I mean, if you want to help somebody, but to give it away with no rhyme or reason and you work so hard for it, doesn't make sense. Do something profitable with it, do something well with it, do something to help others with it. That makes sense. So this is where we are. You know, I take it serious that we have to have these things in line in order with relationships and marriages because one thing for sure, two things for certain. There is no life unless we can have men and women get together, have babies, and keep the process of life going. And it doesn't have to be a horrible story. Come on, somebody. So, in that, we want to make sure that everybody is, a little bit better than what they could be because they're looking at it from a different point of view. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying in sound advice, yeah, can we look at this? Can we become intentional? Can we understand what the accountability is between you and I? Not just you, but also for me, right? Can we look at what growth comes from it? Can we these are things that have answers to them between the two of you. And yeah, if you are with somebody who as soon as you start talking about something serious, they want to go left. As soon as you start talking about something deep, they want to go left because they just want to, like Eddie Murphy said, party all the time with the things that they do and with the way that they say stuff. And that's not a good place to be in. You don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. If we're gonna be adults, we're gonna be accountable to being together. Let's be upfront. Let's be transparent. Come on, transparency on the table. I'm just having fun with all the words that are vital to you and I understanding what it takes to make something work. And it's not to be in situations to just point at other people about what they're not doing and how they're not doing it right. And whoa, I should have saw that. Red flag. No, accountability for yourself in the matter as well, so that when you begin to speak to your significant other, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, it doesn't come off again like you're the police, judge, and jury. It comes off that, okay, if this is what we're doing, let's make it work. Let's start off by literally being accountable. What we say, what we do, how we do it, when we say it. Communication is the ultimate thing. If you got with that guy, you got with that girl, and they don't like to talk. So what? You want to be in love with a mute? I'm just saying. Like, give me a break. You know what I'm saying? We have to communicate. There should be a way to really adjust what we're doing, how we're doing, if we're talking about being intentional and making it through on to the other side. All right. Come on, somebody. So, remembering always, right, that and this is the closer right here, right? Tonight's a short one, but I think it's just informational, so it's okay. Accountability either strengthens the relationship or marriage, or it slowly tears it apart. And I'm gonna leave you with that because I could speak another 15 minutes on that. But accountability is really a situation, an occurrence that can strengthen a relationship or marriage, or it can slowly tear it apart. Think about that for yourself. Think about that. Come on, somebody. Listen, it's your boy. I love you. Get to spend some time with my people and just say some things that I think, should jog you, make you think about stuff, more than just talking about who got a new pair of shoes and what car they drive and where she live at and who her man is and dude just fronting. I ain't got time for that. But I love you. Thank you for tuning in. It's your boy the Prophet Bishop Kush with Red Flags. And tonight it was all about accountability. All right, you get a chance. It was show number 13. Hello, somebody. Um, Share it with somebody. Leave a comment on what you think about accountability. Come on, somebody. Have a blessed one. It's good to see you. Do what you do, but don't let it do you. My love always. All right. The Colgate comes out because I'm always happy for y'all. Always happy for y'all. Come on, somebody. Somebody got to be happy. Come on. And